Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Aced it means I got every single question right. Deadhead, fed hair. Dementia is real and difficult, and the people dealing with it aren't the punchline. Evil Dick is. He shouldn't be the face of dementia, but if dementia ever needed a celebrity endorsement, he would probably show up and start talking before anyone invited him. Operators are standing by. Side effects may include shouting, rambling, and spontaneous claims of having invented everything you've ever seen. Anybody want to hire me? Wouldn't it be great to just like sit in my recliner and read words and hopefully not stumble over them? Do you know this is embarrassing living in this America? I can't believe this shit. I can't believe like there's a fucking idiot like this controlling the land. Like this dude actually said deadhead fed hair. You know what I thought of as soon as I heard that? It reminded me of red rum, red rum. You know, like yeah, it doesn't it doesn't spell murder backward. What does it spell backward? Rehad def dot ed? Yeah, that's not a red rum. But deadhead fed hair, deadhead fed hair, deadhead fed hair, deadhead fed hair. Sorry. I'm not sorry. Like, every time I turn on my fucking TV and you think you've heard it all, and you know you haven't, and you don't know what you're going to hear next, but you sure don't think that you're going to click it on and hear deadhead fed hair coming out of the goddamn president's mouth. Wow. Deadhead fed hair. Am I right? Anyways, I am not making fun of people with dementia. Like, for real, that shit is like, it is sad. It like for the family, for the person, like, oh my god, I can't even imagine. Like sometimes I do imagine Alicia getting dementia because I don't know, anything's possible. So I'm preparing myself for it, but I've been preparing for that like years ago before Evil Dick. Um because I need to know what to do if she gets dementia. But anyways, like I'm not making fun of that. I'm just making fun of it. It's being Evil Dick, that dumb motherfucker. So, who's autistic this week? Nobody asked. Well, um, I already said this, but I am going to double down on Sage from season 49 of America's Survivor. I don't know if this bitch is gonna win the show. I really think she should. But she looks like she would be a fantastic friend to have in real life. Like, oh my God, bitch is so autistic. She's so funny. And she's so smart and clever too. People just don't get it. And like I've watched the most recent episode, which is oh wait, is this giving away stuff? You've got a few minutes to fast forward. 60 seconds. Go. Are you fast forwarding? Okay. So this is the episode like prior to the finale. And it's like nobody has said this bitch's name, but like maybe a handful of times. Like, talk about blending in, man. Talk about masking. If anybody has been watching like season 49, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to her. But also, most importantly, and like I did say this as well multiple times on this podcast, if I remember correctly, that Simon Cowell is probably autistic. Well, guess what? Guess what, folks? On Netflix, there's this like, I don't know, they call it a documentary, but it's not a real documentary because he seems like a pretty private person. I'm surprised he showed what he did. But it's like partial documentary of him and then mostly like him looking for the next boy band. or some shit. Like we need more boy bands. But anyways, but I have to give it to Simon Cowell. He knows how to spot talent. He is superb at it. But anyways, so I watched that in like one go. Um, because it was Simon Cowell. What is he now? Like 67, 66. He's still so pretty. Oh, Simon Cowell, I love you so much. But anyways, motherfucker is autistic. So he's talking about like, well, not him, but his partner was talking about like how stuck in his routines he is to the point of like it being a bit annoying. There was this part about how he orders like a bunch of the same like t-shirts and like other clothing maybe like just a bunch of the same like what was it like 80 t-shirts he wanted her to order that were the exact same. They were like even specially designed, I think he said, or she said, like custom to fit him. Like now, if that is not autistic, what is? And no, it's not just those two things. If you watch that, it's not a documentary, folks. It's not a documentary. I would say it's like a little bit of sharing and then mostly about his special interest, which is like like looking for talent and like that is his special interest. But anyways, um Simon Cowell, delicious. So lovely. Do you know what kind of a person I was back in the day, back in my 20s, into my early 30s? If anybody knew the Simon Cowell from back in the it was an American Idol. Oh my God, that show is so old. If anybody knows how he was back in those days, that's kind of how I was. A dick. I was not a nice person. He was so mean when he was pretty like you tell people that they're not good at singing or whatever, but like dude had no tact. He was a straight up fucking dick. And I remember just being stuck in this like duality of like, oh my God, like this is so mean, but also, oh my God, hilarious. I don't think that stuff is hilarious now. And apparently he doesn't either because he is a changed man. He is so changed that I'm surprised by his choice in partner, but I'm sure they balance each other out. But anyways, I know I said but anyways like so many times. I'm sure I said folks like 3 times by now. My brain's working, but not in the right ways. Um, what was I saying? So yeah, I should get awards for this, or this. Yeah, I should get awards for predicting autism before they themselves even know that they're autistic. I'm not the only one that can do this, I know, but whatever. I love Simon Cowell. I love him so much. I wish there was like just just episodes about him. I want to know so much about that dude. And it is so frustrating when they're private people and they're really good at like keeping a bunch of shit private. I hate that. I want to know. I want to know everything. So anyways, uh a few days ago, well, a few nights ago. Well, a day before that. So 4 nights ago. I don't know why it matters how many days or nights, but I went to all day because sometimes I like to see what they have in their like what I call fun aisles once a week. They have like two, sometimes three aisles where it's just new stuff every week. And I like to go in person to see the new stuff because it's not the same on the internet when you're looking at like Instacart. They don't put everything on there and so I wanted to go in and see what they had and they had what I did not know, limited edition sugar cookie toast crunch. That's a big old name, but it's the cinnamon toast crunch brand, but it was sugar cookie toast crunch. And I love sugar cookies and I love cinnamon. So I was like, hey, what do these two taste like? Is it cinnamon? Is it just sugar cookie? Who knows? So I got the box and I don't know, it was like midnight or something. And I just remembered like suddenly I figured out I'm hungry and I needed to go eat something quickly. And I wanted to just be able to like unwrap something and like put it in my mouth because that's how long I went without eating because I forgot. And we were a little low on grocery. No, we weren't low. I just went shopping. Maybe I forgot to get stuff for myself. I don't know, but I did get that box. And so I grabbed the box and I brought it back to my room. And I remember opening it and just eating it dry because dry cereal is also very delicious. Certain brands are. And I was like, oh my God, this is delicious. I just remember, oh, this is like the best meal I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. And I was watching something on TV and I was taking a break from something I was working on. So, like, maybe it was like burnout or just I forgot when the last time it was I slept. But next thing I know, I'm watching this show that I don't remember what it was, and I'm eating this delicious sugar cookie limited edition, limited edition sugar cookie toast crunch. I should have gotten two boxes. But, anyways, and then I wake up, which turned out to be a few hours later. I'm in my recliner. I've drooled off this, like, I got my head turned to the side. My hand is literally in the box of cereal, like with a fistful. I didn't even close the fist. I didn't even, like, apparently go to pick out just a piece or two. Like, was I shoving fistfuls of cereal into my mouth? I don't remember. I just remember I woke up and I saw that my hand was in a box of cereal, and I looked around, and what was it, like 3:30 in the morning, and I was like, what is happening here? Like, this is so unlike me. Um and to fall asleep with like my hand in a cereal box. So, which actually it's not been that unlike me. Like, I don't know, the last few months or so, like at least twice a week, I fall asleep in my recliner at night like my fucking mother did. And I was like, how do people just fall asleep in their chairs before they get to bed? Like, if you notice you're tired, go the fuck to bed. And this is my karma. It's happening to me. But, anyways, back to the story. So I woke up and my hand was in that, box with just a fistful of cereal. And I didn't eat it. I let go. But I didn't notice that there was, you seen those commercials for like Cinedust? Isn't it that brand? And I think those commercials are the dumbest. Like, Cinedust, God is Cinedust. Like, shut the fuck up. That's a dumb commercial. But I remembered it, so it must have done something. But, anyways, I didn't notice any of that. It was sugar cookie dust on my hand, caked on there. So I guess I sweated into the cereal too, my hand or something. I don't know. And I was in my room, so it just seemed natural to just plop myself into my bed back here. And that's what I did because I was so tired. But then I woke up like, I don't know, 10, and I'm sleeping in crumbs. There's stickiness on my hand from having my hand in the box of cereal. And I didn't even notice that there was like a whole bunch of like s- crumbs on my face. Like, I'm a messy eater. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but I'm very careful about like eating out in public. I don't like doing it because I like to be comfortable when I'm eating, which means I use my hands a lot. Um, Even though, I mean, I was eating dry cereal and that's what you use is your hands when you're eating dry cereal. Um, does anybody know anybody who's ever eaten dry cereal with a spoon but just not added milk? Just curious. That just popped into my head. But yeah, so like I woke up and I don't know. Like, that's never happened to me before. I can't remember ever having done that in my entire life, waking up in fucking crumbs. Not even when I would like have my nights out and drink a bunch in my 20s did I ever wake up in fucking crumbs. But anyways, it is kind of funny now, but I'm never doing that again. I will never bring a box of cereal back here. Uh, because I had to wash my sheets. And I had already washed them like a couple days ago. And like, since it's just, I washed all the sheets at the same time, and then I had to go do them again. And then I actually thought about maybe I don't have to do these. Maybe it's okay to just leave the crumbs back here because it's not like it's spring or summer, so ants won't come back here. They won't smell any of the stuff. But then I had thoughts of like, well, I'm in my 40s. Like, is it normal to just be okay with having crumbs like about, just laying about? No, it's not. Wow, I can't believe I just 15 minutes. Gotta move on. So my nieces, I'm really stepping up, man, into this role of cool aunt that I didn't ask for. So Madeline has been calling me at night, and it's becoming a regular thing, like a few times a week. I mean, I wonder if it's going to be nightly, but anyways, so we're chatting on the phone for like 90 minutes. It seems like midnight is like my escape into autism land, because like talking for that long is so hard. Like after the first half hour, I'm like, my mouth is starting not to work. It's just the same as when they're here in person. So by midnight, I'm like, I really have to go because it's the truth. I have to go give Caesar his second dose of medicine. I have to give them their last meal of the night for soft food or whatever. Um, so, and they understand that. So that's when I leave. But anyways, so like she actually wants to talk to me for that long. That's crazy. It's weird that somebody wants to talk to me like that on a regular basis. Not just in person, but like on the phone too. And then Bella, she's into writing. She's going to be like a fantasy author because the world building she does is insane for 16 years old. Like, my brain didn't work half as well as hers. I did not have an imagination like that. My imagination was consumed of like, what would my life be if I weren't raised in hell? Like, I was not sitting there trying to build like stories like that. It's crazy. But anyways, um now she's starting to email me her poems and other things that she writes that she would like editing for. Oh my God. I'm like, wow, look at me being useful to these nieces. This is great. Um, and so like this year, since everything is so expensive, it just seems utterly ridiculous to go to stores and pay a bunch of money that we don't have for bullshit. Like I'm just angry at like prices being increased, not at the people doing it. I'm just angry at like Evil Dick and and his minions, and this he's the reason for all of this fucking shit. But so I made a decision, for the first time in my life, like not buying things for people, because I've been one of those. Like, I want to make sure I get good presents, good gifts that people can actually use, that they want. I don't just go buy bullshit for people. Even though I just said I would buy it for kids, but I don't mean it like that. I just mean like, well, maybe I do mean it like that. Cause like when we go, well, Alicia buys for the kids. She has in the past because she knows them and she knows what's appropriate to buy based on age. I don't know any of that stuff. But I do know, like, when they were into Play-Doh and this and that, you just go and you put things in the cart and you wrap them and like, here you go. And it's what they wanted. And, um, I'm not willing to do that this year, that, especially with Alicia being the primary money earner lately, her money is not going to get used for that. So I'm making stuff for them. And over the years, I would go to stores like Michael's, and, I like to get the wooden stuff because I like to paint. And, I would come home with stuff that I wouldn't always use in the moment. And it's just kind of collected over the years. So I have like all these crafts that I can do things with. And this is the most time I have ever spent on doing things for children in my life. I don't like kids. Um, which I have a story about that after. But anyways, um, I just realized I said, but anyways, again, and I just pondered that just now, in case anybody wondered about the pause. I'm gonna move on now. It's great to be an aunt from a distance. Cause can you imagine if they lived like within like 5-10 minutes? Then I would have to rethink some things. But for now, it's going great. So anyway, oh, I said it again. Thank goodness for ring, 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 ring camera. The ring camera. It's been snowing a lot lately, and I do in fact think I'm correct in saying that this is unusual for where I live because there's this thing we go to called Lights on the Lake every year. It's like 2 miles of nothing but Christmas lights on display. It's something that the Syracuse puts on, and my stipulations have been the same for me and Alicia every year is I don't want to go unless it's between Thanksgiving and Christmas, not before Thanksgiving, not after Christmas, between them. And only if there is snow on the ground, because I will be damned. I don't know how you people do it who live in places where there is no snow and you have Christmases with grass. Weird. I lived in Hawaii for 3 years, never got used to that. That was very strange to me. It didn't seem right to have a Christmas tree with no snow. But, anyways, those are my very simple stipulations. Is that, and so, like, most years, it's like cutting it close to Christmas. And I like can recall just like, oh my God, are we going to be able to go? We're going to be able to go. Like, sure, I can go whenever I want. There doesn't have to be snow. It can be before or after my chosen holidays. But no, like, I don't ask for a whole lot anymore. All that to say, why did I say all that? Um, because I was talking about ring. Where did that come from? Sorry about my brain. It's autistic. Well, I don't know where the two were. I don't know how those two came to be linked because but anyways, we took Bella to Lights on the Lake. I'm gonna stop talking about that. I don't know why I did. Um, I probably realized that as soon as I hit the stop button and then have regret. So this ring camera that we got. Oh, snow. That's why I brought that up. The snow. Oh, and that's now it all makes sense. I'm piecing it back together. Don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me. It's leaving my brain. Don't leave me, come back. Okay, it's here. Woof! You know how hard it is to cling on to those thoughts? So I gotta get it out before it goes away again. So we cut it close going to Lights on the Lake because it finally will snow like right before Christmas and I'll be very happy. And then this year it was the earliest we've ever gone to Lights on the Lake. So we took Bella with us because she's never gone before and she happened to be here for a visit, which ended up being 2 days instead of three because it snowed a whole lot that night that Alicia was supposed to go down and get her. So I haven't experienced 3 days with a child before, but I'm sure it's in my future, in the near future. And so it's been snowing a lot more than usual. And today, I just gave all of that for just this like little experience that I had. That, anyways. So like an hour ago, my phone goes off, like ring ring, like who's at my door. So I bring up the Ring app, and children. Ooh, I don't like children. I don't like anybody coming to the door. I like the nieces, not other kids. And it's very obvious what they're looking for. So like there was kids that came up like last week and I looked at my camera and I looked at them and they were wanting to, it was obvious they had shovels. They wanted me to pay them for shoveling because I hadn't been out yet to do it. And did I go to the door? No, I did not go to the fucking door. I don't even carry cash on me anymore. That's what cards are for. So unless there's something that kids are doing with like card transactions, I don't want to pay anybody. I don't want you on my property. I'm one of those. I'm not mean about it. I mean, I was like years ago, but I'm not mean about it. I just won't answer the door. So I did answer the door. And then the motherfuckers come back today. This time they got a snowblower. One's got a snowblower, the other one's got a shovel, which is kind of cute because like me and Alicia used to do that. I would be the shoveler, she would be the snowblower, but we wouldn't go knocking on doors asking for money because we're adults. But these were kids. And I don't like telling a kid that I don't have money. And I sure don't want to tell a kid, can you come back tomorrow? I'll have gone to the bank by that. Like, I'm not doing that and inviting more interaction, especially with children. They're very unpredictable. So I didn't answer the the door, but I did stare at them the entire time, and I got to give it to those kids. They were persistent. That kid that was up there knocking, ringing the doorbell, he sure tried to get me to come out. Oh my god. I do feel a teensy weensy bit bad, but I didn't answer the door. That's the point of the ring camera for me, is to let me know who not to open the door for. Um And it's not like it snowed a whole bunch overnight, but it is the heavy stuff. And there's probably a good 3, 4, maybe 5 inches out there. And I've decided that I'm only shoveling once a day now. And that's like an hour before Alicia gets home because I'm too lazy to go out there multiple times anymore. And so is my pots. My pots has a big say in this now. And so the kids leave. And right before I got on here to record this episode, there's this dude that lives down at the end of the road who, during the summer, he's obsessed with mowing lawns. Not the neighbors across the street that I've talked about that are obsessed with like their lawn. This guy's not about appearances. He just enjoys the pure act of mowing lawns. And he'll go up and down the street and mow a whole bunch if he sees that people aren't mowing for themselves. And I don't like people going into our personal space. So I make sure to like keep ahead of this dude so he doesn't mow our stuff just because I'm weird like that. But like, good on him. Like, I understand what that's like to just really like to do something. And so right before I got on here, the dude does this, he does that, but for snow blowing in the winter. So he'll go up and down the street and snow blow the end of people's driveways. And I totally forgot about that until he popped up on my Ring camera. And I was like, see? Didn't have to pay any money that I didn't have on hand. Didn't have to talk to any children. Didn't have to be a disappointment. Um, and the hardest part of shoveling is the end of the driveway because of the plows, and that's done for me now. It's great being an adult. So that's been my life. And the next time you hear from me will be me on here really, really encouraging you to buy my book. I might be on here promoting two, but at the very least, I'm promoting one the next time I'm on here. So please just prepare yourself for some really cringy, unprofessional, salesy pitches. Maybe I'll do an ad. I don't know. I don't know. This will be a free one. Wait, is it free? Yeah, because I don't pay for it right now. Oh man. How did I make it this far in life? I am 42, 42 years old. I was gonna be in a band and make that my career for life, but I'm sure you can see why that didn't work out. Thanks for listening. I hope this was relatable in some capacity. I forgot half of what I just talked about. But I really appreciate you listening and your messages. And I live on the internet, multiple places. I have links wherever you can find where the description is for this episode. Okay, thank you very much, and goodbye.